¿Qué onda, brothers? What's up? It's the director. Chargers fans, we got an interesting topic of conversation today. One that maybe not everybody wants to have, but it's, it's part of life. We got to talk about these things, all right? There's rumors floating around. There's opinions floating around that maybe the Chargers are looking to move Keenan Allen from the roster. What? I'm thinking the same thing you guys are. Like, where did this even come from? So in this video, we're going to talk about, the reasons why the Chargers may be moving him, maybe what we could get in return, and why maybe it's not such a good idea either. So before we get started, guys, hit us up with a like and sub. If you do enjoy this Chargers content, the small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get started with this video. All right, dudes. Okay, so the opinions going on there. The one big thing, the biggest reason I'm doing this video too, I do want to give a shout out to our boys at Bolt Beat. They did put out an article this morning talking about this. It kind of originated with Pro Football Focus. That's kind of the first place where like, hey, maybe the Chargers should look to move Keenan Allen. And honestly, let's just go through this. I'll share you guys my opinion on this too once we get a little bit further into the video. So the big reasons why we maybe should trade Keenan Allen. We're gonna go with this at first. Just play along, guys. Like, just bear with me here. I know you guys got opinions too. Make sure you're commenting them and stuff so I can see and we can interact. But just wait. Let it marinate for a second. Keenan Allen is on a contract year, which means if we want to maintain him after 2021 season, we're going to have to pay him. And we do have a lot of stars on this roster. Joey Bosa, maybe get a leg up on Derwin James. We got Desmond King to worry about. There's a lot of guys that need to get paid. Keenan Allen is on top of that list. He's probably one of the biggest priorities on that list. But that's one reason why people are thinking maybe the Chargers look to move on from him, because we are starting a little bit fresh. It's not a rebuild, but we are starting a new offense. We're implementing a new, quarterback coming into play. A couple of new quarterbacks, if you count, both Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert. We're going to move in the direction of Herbert eventually, but right now it's Tyrod's season. And who knows, maybe if you can get something back for a Keenan Allen, that would help, in that rebuild process of the offense a little bit into the future to help out Justin Herbert. But there's just one reason right there, guys. I think a first is certainly on the table for a guy like Keenan Allen. He's going to be like 28, 29 by the time his contract is up with us, and he's in the prime of his career, so can definitely see it happen. At the same time, I think it's maybe more realistic. It's maybe more likely we get something like a second and a fifth or something like that. The other reason are his injury concerns. Chargers fans know that Keenan Allen has had some bumps in the road, especially early in his career. Hence why, he went in the middle rounds rather than like a first round pick during his draft. And then even after that, missing a ton of time due to various injuries. Okay? Now, I want to do all the stuff why we should keep him later, but I will point out that his injuries, they were very fluky. I remember a punctured lung in there, something like that. Things that normally don't get re-injured. And he had a couple of them, which painted a false perspective that he is injury prone. I would say no, he's not injury prone. But we got to move on. The league is dominated by speed. Players like Tyreek Hill and Marquise Brown thrive in the system that we're looking to implement. This is true. Guys like Patrick Mahomes, guys like Lamar Jackson, dudes that are a little bit more mobile, in and out of the pocket. I feel like that's something the Chargers want. A couple of reasons for that being is that offensive linemen are becoming harder and harder to draft. They don't make them like they used to. They don't prep them the way they used to. And I think that's a big reason why maybe the Chargers didn't draft one this year. It doesn't mean we shouldn't have. I still think we should have. At the same time, I get it. Okay, so a band-aid on a bullet wound kind of solution to that. We've seen it with the Cardinals, with Kyler Murray, who was absolutely, thrown into the fire with one of the worst offensive lines in football. He was able to make some stuff happen because he was a little bit scrappy, a little bit mobile. Same thing with Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. I think their offensive line's better, but still, the ability to create time, create space, helped them out a little bit. And it feels like the direction the Chargers are moving with their offense, they want something a little bit more similar, somebody a little bit more mobile to extend plays. And, guys like Tyreek Hill, Marquise Brown, those really speedy wide receivers, pair very well with guys like Justin Herbert, who have the really big arm, can extend plays a little bit. Keenan Allen is just not that type of guy. He does not go over the top, but he is a different kind of wide receiver, and we'll get to that here in just a minute. But that could be said for Tyrod Taylor as well. Maybe he doesn't fit Tyrod Taylor perfectly. Tyrod Taylor, more of a game manager kind of guy, but eventually Herbert is going to be that guy. And again, a speedy wide receiver that can go deep with a guy like, Justin Herbert. He's got one of the best arms in the NFL right now, and he just got here. Maybe the Chargers are looking to grab some capital and build around him with weapons more specific to his skill set. Boy, that was all really hard to get through. Okay, on the flip side, reality check time. We are not, I repeat, not going to trade Keenan Allen. And here's why. Keenan is without a doubt a top 10 wide receiver. And other teams know that, man. You're going to find articles online of other teams saying, like the Ravens, why should they trade for Keenan Allen? It kind of makes sense. It's because they know what we have in Keenan Allen. They would be willing to give up, in this article, a second and fifth to acquire Keenan Allen. And it's because Keenan is a really good football player. And additionally, he's exactly the kind of weapon that you want when implementing a new offense and quarterback, in our case, quarterbacks. Like I mentioned, Keenan is not a burner. Again, he's not going to go over the top for very many touchdowns, but what he does very well, and arguably better than anybody else in the league, is run lethal, elite, crispy routes. And there are very few DBs in the entire league that can keep up with him. Honestly, it doesn't even come close. What Keenan provides to this offense is absolutely essential to what we're doing right now. Now, with the notion that Keenan doesn't fit the archetype or the style of play for Tyrod Taylor or Justin Herbert is absolutely ludicrous to me. Every quarterback loves an open wide receiver. Now, Tyrod Taylor is likely taking over this September, and he's a game manager kind of quarterback. Hence why he doesn't throw a lot of picks. He finds the open man or tucks it away. Keenan is always that open man. Always. So long as Keenan is on the field, we have a chance to convert on any down at any position on the field. And what about Herbert? Well, the same rules apply. A rookie quarterback will absolutely feel safer with a guy like Keenan out there. Herbert has been accused of being a one-look quarterback. We need to fix that. But if I was forced to make just one look, it'd be towards a guy like Keenan Allen, bar none. Chances are he'll be open. He is the perfect solution in a time we need to break in a new quarterback. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? Keenan Allen is more valuable to us because of the situation we're in right now. Amongst all the uncertainty that we have in a new offense, with new quarterbacks, with new personnel, not having Phillip Rivers, the one constant that we should have, for the entirety of Herbert's career, for, this season, with Tyrod Taylor, with the ushering in of a new offense, Keenan Allen needs to stay on this team. And I think the Chargers do know this. And honestly, when it comes to re-signing our superstars and stuff, I need to do a video talking about our cap situation in 2021 in a little bit more depth. But when you look at other teams, let's say like the Los Angeles Rams, for instance, you guys remember these past 3 or 4 years, they absolutely loaded up on talent because they had a little bit of breathing room with their cap space. And this was due to the cause that Jared Goff was a rookie quarterback, and they were kind of riding that wave for a while. Like, you know what? We're not paying a huge, amount of our cap towards our franchise quarterback because he's on a rookie deal. Let's spend that money on these big free agents and stuff like that to bring into LA and make, a Super Bowl run, which ultimately they did. And in the end, we all know that, honestly, it kind of bit them in the butt. Right now, they're in cap hell. But I don't think the Chargers are looking to load up everything and everybody, throw all their eggs in one basket. I feel like we're just trying to maintain the roster that we have, sign the stars that we have, especially if they're at a younger age. And that's what Keenan is, man. 28, 29 years old. He's in the prime of his career. And I think, again, like the Rams, we have some breathing room due to a rookie contract for our quarterback. So likely we'll have the cap space to keep him on the roster. There is no reason, absolutely no reason why we should be looking to move him at this time. There's no way we're going to be drafting anybody close to Keenan Allen. The chances of that are really, really low, and I would not risk it. A 2nd and 5th round pick, that's cool. But again, to get another Keenan Allen on this team with those picks, very highly unlikely. Don't cut Keenan loose in the prime of his career. Just don't do it. In the comment section below, what do you guys think about this situation? Do you think Keenan Allen is on his way out? I mean, honestly, I don't even know what to call this. Is this a rumor? Is this, something, somebody's talking about in the Chargers locker room? Likely not. It's just a speculation made by Pro Football Focus, but I felt it was important to put this video out there anyway because I have heard some Chargers fans saying, let's go ahead and get what we can for Keenan Allen, maybe Melvin Ingram and Desmond King, everybody that has contracts coming up. Let's just unload them right now to get some capital. I don't think that's the move. If you want a guy like Justin Herbert to succeed, you need to maintain the talent around him. You can't spread him so far thin that basically he's going up against the elite defenses we have in the AFC West with some of these backups and number 2s and number 3s on the team. That's just not going to work. Justin Herbert right now is in such a unique position out of all the quarterbacks that were drafted this year. Cincinnati is not great. Miami is not great. The Chargers, on the other hand, we're looking really good. Out of the 3 quarterbacks that got drafted, Justin Herbert, I think, was put in the best situation, even outside of guys like Jordan Love, who's likely not going to start for a couple of years. And it's because of guys like Keenan Allen, because of guys like Hunter Henry and Austin Eckler. That offense is designed and tuned to convert. It's designed to move the football forward. And honestly, as good as Eckler is, as good as Hunter Henry is, Keenan Allen makes the most sense as to why we keep. He's got to be there to help Justin Herbert develop into, a legitimate NFL quarterback. And I can't really think of very many other wide receivers I would want on my team to accomplish that outside of maybe like DeAndre Hopkins and Michael Thomas. It's those 2 guys and then Keenan Allen, the reception god. So again, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. In my opinion, you're not trading him. We're not doing it. Don't even think about it. He's staying on the Chargers. He's going to be one of the cornerstones in the development of Justin Herbert. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. Bolt up. We'll see you next time. And as always, stay frosty.